Good morning, Gina.
Good morning, sunshines. How are you? Tell me, I didn't
Hey,
hear.
Kay. Hey, Brianna.
There we go.
Hey, Laura.
Good morning,
Okay.
Miss Laura. Good morning, everybody.
Morning. Hey, Laura, how you feeling after yesterday?
I'm good. Like overwhelmed because now I have to actually put my actions, my words to actions. But I feel like I can do it. Like I'm like, okay, I want to do it this way, so I can do it.
You can.
I don't know.
I know, that's fabulous. You do know. It's awesome. It's super awesome. I got two of you driving today, so I need to get paper and pen so that I can take care of you all, because you all are going to be shooting stuff at me.
Okay.
That?
I'm almost at home.
You're what at home? You're almost home? Okay, perfect.
Almost at home.
So we'll switch you over when you get there. Okay. Cool beans. Who had something cool yesterday? We'll like chat for like another minute or two and then we'll get going.
I can tell you, I did 3 things. Go ahead, Bree. Well,
I was going to say, I have a client that I did a video to about the rent to own. They're qualified for a traditional mortgage. So we're looking for a home. She's pre-approved for a traditional mortgage. And if I hadn't sent her the video, I don't know if she would have told me.
Nice.
That's good.
That's very good. All right, Miss Kay, what do you got?
Well, I listed for the first time on Craigslist by myself and figured it out and looked at a video.
Unsupervised?
Unsupervised.
Oh my gosh.
And then I put my first thing into Express Offers. I'm having trouble. I load the photos and then it has a checklist and I have one more thing I have to do. And then I get out and I get in and then I've got to start over with my photos. So I'm going to get that done today. My first Express Offers, and I did that unsupervised from my notes. And I took a course on affordable housing and learned about our local, it sounds similar to the program Breezeloo is using, where they can go and get down payment assistance and they can get grants to help them with their mortgage. And I learned what the criteria was. And so I'm feeling more comfortable. I've been into Home Partners of America and I pulled down all their stuff and I really like that program. So I'm just immersing myself in all these things that I can put together to give to a couple of my clients.
Nice.
And I
when
think
you do the affordable housing, ask them about shared equity.
Shared equity?
Ask them if they have a program for shared equity.
Okay.
Is that like joint on title?
Sorta. And so if they're qualified for 200 and the house is 350, they will give them the remainder.
They are on
the affordable housing, the nonprofit, but they work with the bank, so the bank has some skin in it. And then when they go to sell it, the equity is shared.
Beautiful. So basically,
so just ask them about it.
Purchasing. That's basically, that's really interesting. Really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, the stuff they give these people, if you earn less than $106,000, you can buy a duplex and rent part of it out. You can buy anything. You can buy up to $400,000, $500,000. I have no idea.
Yeah, what you guys are putting together could really change your worlds and people's worlds around you. It's very cool. It's really cool. All right, Bree's almost home. Perfect. We're going to make her rush down and go get paper and pen. Laura, I will, since you're driving, I will help you. You'll just tell me what you're thinking, okay? Cool beans. All right, so what we're going to do today, as soon as I find share my screen, there it is. Okay, it's green. You think I could see that. What we're going to do today is I'm going to walk through something I learned with coaching, which I think is awesome. It was one of the first things I learned. I mean, this is my book, and these are all the tabs all over. And I was like, I want to teach this. 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 So it was awesome. Anyway, this one is going to be on learned modalities. And what learning modalities are, you guys have probably heard this already, and you probably are aware of it. They talk about if you're a visual learner or an auditory learner or a kinesthetic learner. I did not know there was a fourth type. They call it audio digital. I call it the thinkers. And that just helps me kind of get it straight in my brain. So a visual thinker thinks through, I can see that. That's how they think. Okay. An auditory learner likes much more to hear it. That feels really good. A kinesthetic learner is the feeling one, kinesthetics feeling. I got a handle on that. That's how they want to be able to touch it and do that. And then the we'll just call them thinkers. The thinkers are like, yeah, I get that process. That system makes sense to me. It's that kind of thing. It's a very thinking thing. So these are the 4 different ways that people learn. When I first ran across this, I was like, yeah, that totally makes sense. I get it. And then they gave you a little test to find out what you are. And that's when I was shocked. So I thought we would do the test. It's really, really simple. And then we'll talk about how to use it in real estate and where to go with it, how to tell quickly if somebody is that style or not, and then why that's important. So let me share my screen. You're going to need a piece of paper with room to do 5. You're going to have 5 questions that you're going to be answering. Each one's going to be ranked. I think I want to be here. Yep. Each one's going to be ranked on a 1 to 4 level. So on each one of these questions, so I'll make these as big as I can. 4 is going to be the closest to you, and 1 is the least descriptive of you. So you're going to rank each one 4, 3, 2, 1. 4 most likely, most like me, 1 least like me. Don't overthink it. Just don't overthink it. So, Laura, I'm reading to you. I make important decisions based upon gut level feelings, which way sounds best, what looks best to me, and precise review and study of the issues. So out of those 4, which one is the most like you? Gut level feelings, the way I make important decisions, which way sounds best, what looks best, or precise review and study of the issues?
Which way sounds best?
Sounds best is the first one. Perfect. And then what is the gut level, the next one? Gut level feelings, what looks best, or precise review?
What looks best?
Perfect. And then let me see, that one's there. And then gut level feelings or precise review for your next one.
Gut level.
And then 1. Perfect. Okay, next question. During an argument, I am most likely to be influenced by the other person's tone of voice, whether or not I can see the other person's point of view, the logic of the other person's argument, whether or not I'm in touch with the other person's true feelings. During an argument, I am most likely to be influenced by the other person's tone of voice, whether or not I can see the other person's point of view, the logic of the other person's argument, whether or not I'm in touch with the other person's true feelings.
Logic.
Logic. Okay. And your next one, the other person's tone of voice, whether I can see their view or whether I'm in touch with their feelings.
View.
View. Okay. And then tone of voice or in touch with their feelings.
In touch with their feelings.
Next one. I most easily communicate what is going on with me by the way I dress and look, the feelings I share, the words I choose, my tone of voice. I most easily communicate what is going on with me by the way I dress and look, the feelings I share, the words I choose, my tone of voice.
The words I choose.
Okay, and the next one, the way I dress and look, the feelings I share, my tone of voice.
My tone of voice.
Then dress and look or feelings I share.
Feelings.
Perfect. All right, 2 more questions. It's easiest for me to find the ideal volume and tuning on a stereo system, select the most intellectually relevant point in an interesting subject, select the most comfortable furniture, select what each attractive color, I don't know what commendations are, that is definitely a misspelling. Recommend combinations is probably what this word is supposed to be. I know it's supposed to be combinations. Okay, so find the ideal volume and tuning on a stereo system, select the most intellectually relevant point in an interesting subject, select the most most comfortable furniture, or select what each attractive color combination.
Comfortable furniture.
Comfortable furniture. 4 is 1, 2. Okay, and then the next one, ideal volume on a stereo, intellectually relevant point, or color combinations, attractive color combinations.
Ideal value on a stereo.
Okay, and then the next one, intellectual relevant point or attractive color combinations.
Color combination.
Hang on, 2, 1. Okay, last question. PF, we're taking a test. I will scroll back at the top of this test here in a second so you can take it. You'll need paper and pen. I hope you're not driving because I can't see you right now, sweetie. Okay, and you're going to rank each one, PF, from 4 is the most likely like me and 1 is the least like me. Laura's driving, so follow along because that's how we're doing it. 5, select the most accurate. Laura, I'm very attuned to the sounds of my surroundings. I'm very adept at making sense of new facts and data. I am very sensitive to the way articles of clothing feel on my body, or I have a strong response to colors and the way a room looks. So I select the most accurate, attuned to the sounds of my surroundings, adept at making sense of new facts and data, sensitive to the way clothing feels on my body, strong response to colors and the way a room looks.
Sensitive to how close to my body.
Okay. The next one, attuned to the sounds of my surroundings, adept at sense of new facts and data, or a response to colors and the way a room looks.
Attuned to sounds.
Sounds, that's this one. Okay, and the last 2, new facts and data, or the colors and the way a room looks.
Color the way a room looks.
Perfect. Okay, we're gonna go back up here, PF. Where are you, PF? Let me find you. Where are you? There you are. Okay, perfect. So it's 1 through 5. So if you can go through this really quickly and answer each one based upon 4 being the one closest to you, and you can just write down number 1 and then like write down, 3, 2, 4, 1 or whatever. And number 2, 5, 1, 2, 4, 3 or whatever it is. So when you tell me when you're done with the first 2 and I'll scroll down. And then once we've got those done, we're going to score them. And then when we score them, we will talk about them. And I'll sing the Jeopardy song. Exactly. Oh, ready for 3? Okay, cool.
I'm sorry, I got confused. So each one of the answers is already pre-labeled. So number 4, for number 1, let's say if I want to say gut feeling, I would say 4.
If that's your most like you, yes. And then let's say which looks best to me is the next one, that would be 3. And then 2 is which way sounds best. And then the last one is a review and study the issues. That would be 1, if that's how you would rank them. So for Laura's list, I literally have 2, 4, 3, 1, because for her, it's 2. This one is the one that she ranked the highest, 4. And then this one,
I see. Within number 1, I could say answer 1, it would be 4. Answer 2 would be 2. And answer 3 would be 1. And answer 4 would be 3 for me. Like
in this step right here, just in this right here, just here. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Sorry, it's easier with book where you're writing.
I just woke up.
Actually, I've been up for, you do that. Hang on, I've been up for 3.5 hours. I've had to look at my clock and go, what time did I get up today? And Bree, who's an hour earlier than me, still wakes up earlier than I did.
Oh my gosh, you guys are insane. Sometimes I'm going to bed at that time.
Nope. Tell me when you're ready for number 2. Yep.
I'm ready for number 2.
Okay.
The other person's.
And I'll let PF tell me when to move down to number 3. And then we'll go through. Or PF can tell me when he's done with number 1. Either one's good.
I'm done with number 1. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And yes, I will send this out after we're done. It's all very sendable. I'll put it on the, I'll send it out to everybody. We'll do it that way.
Oh, no wonder. I'm like, what? Oh, wait a minute. The other person's turn.
I'm doing it wrong.
That one may not be right.
There's a couple of these I really had to think about. Like this one down here, number 4. I was like, oh, only number 1, but the other ones were all like,
Yes.
PF, you done with 2?
Yes,
Okay, cool.
I'm down to 4 and down to 4 and 5 now.
Perfect. Everybody else down there, Bree, you down to,
Yeah, I'm at 4.
okay, perfect. Let's go here then.
Gina, I also posted to Facebook twice yesterday,
Wow.
What?
all by
Yeah.
myself.
You went off all willy-nilly yesterday, didn't you? You crazy girl.
Well, I said today I'm going to get into technology no matter what. And I tackled it early in the morning, and that's what I have to do. I have to do my technology in the morning and not in the afternoons.
Anything that requires a lot of thinking or really fast for me is better in the morning, because by about 4 o'clock, I'm pretty much just done with my brain. I mean, I can do stuff whenever anyone wants to meet at like 5 or 6 o'clock, like a serious like agent attraction meeting. I do it, but I'm like, ugh, like I am not going to be at my best. I'm going to chug a cup of coffee beforehand, and then that's not going to be good for me. So,
Well,
I
and
was not gonna say-
I told 2 clients I cannot meet with you if you do not meet with me. I'm not working after 6 o'clock anymore. Period.
good for you. Good for you. I only did 1 day a week when I was a real estate agent, and that was it. The rest of the days I've done 4-ish as a real estate agent. All right, so I'm going to move down. Here's what we're going to do. Are we ready?
I'm
We're
not.
ready.
Okay. PF, you done with 5?
Yes,
Okay, perfect. Here's how we're going to do it. You're going to take your answers. So in Laura's case, it was 2, 4, 3, 1, and we're going to put it into, like, put your alphabets by it, or however it is you want to do it on yours. Again, it's
Okay.
easier if you have the papers. So put your alphabets by it so we can start scoring it. So Laura,
Okay, I wrote mine down and I didn't put them in I didn't have them in this order. So can you let me take a picture of the thing again?
Yep. Tell me when you're ready.
All right, hold on just a minute.
Yep, you're good.
Let me go get my phone.
Okay, we're gonna go back down here then.
Oh, can you go to 2 real quick?
Yeah.
Just real quick. I'm almost the other person's tone of voice.
Now I'm confused because I did take a picture of the
Whether or
form,
not I can see the person.
but I'm not sure what I should be
So
doing.
Laura had for here, her
I
gut
want to
feeling
go
was
through
a
the
2.
person's document.
Her which way it sounds best was an A. Her
Right.
what looks best is a V. I'm sorry. Her gut feelings was a 2. Her what sounds best was 4. That's the one she liked the most. What looks best was a 3. And precise review is a 1. So in this scenario, 2 is a K, kinesthetic. 4 is a visual. So 3 is the next one, what looks best to me, vision. And the last one is a T, which the thinking one.
Say that again.
Yeah,
Gut
I
level
think
is
I'm still
what?
confused.
Gut level is a K. We'll go through it this way. Let's just go through it
Okay,
this way.
that'll be easier for me, yeah.
Let's do it. Okay, gut level, if you, whatever answer you put for gut level, put a K next to it. Whatever answer you put for which way sounds best, put an A. Whatever answer you put for what looks best, put a V. And precise review, put a T. The
T
next
or AD?
T like Tom.
Oh,
Tom, we'll say Tom. Put Tom next to it.
all right.
The next one for number 2, we're going to do a It's AV. Okay, so put an A next to this one.
No, talk about it. Tone
Yeah.
of voice.
Tone of
Is-
voice with an A. Yep.
Okay.
Seeing the other person's point of view, put a V. The logic of the other person's argument, put a Tom. And whether I'm in touch or not, put a K. For number 3, the way that I dress and look, let me hang on, I should double check with that one. Okay, it is a V. Put a V. The feelings that I share, put a K. The words I choose, put a T, Tom. And the tone of voice, put an A. For number 4, stereo, A. Relevant point and interesting subject, Tom. Comfortable furniture, K. Attractive color, V. And the last one, attuned to the sounds, K. Making sense of new facts and data, Tom. The way clothing feels. Oh, hang on, maybe the first one is A, I'm sorry. The first one's A, my bad.
Okay, the first one is
Attuned to
very.
the sounds is A, my mistake, I'm so sorry. Sounds is A, facts and data is Tom. Clothing feeling is a K. And colors in the way a room looks is a V. Okay, now we're gonna add up how many A's we have, how many K's we have, how many V's we have, and how many T's we have. Just add up your score. So Laura, I'm gonna add you up right now.
Like we do number 1, how many of these we have?
Hang on one second, I'm mathing 10, 12, 13,
Yes.
14. So if you have, if this one's a K and it ranks 4, then you would give that one, you would give that K would be 4. If this one's a K over here, it's not, but if it was a K and it was a 3, you would make 7, now you're at 7. If that one's a K and you ranked it 4 again, then it would be 11. If that one's a K and you ranked it 4 again, it would be 15. And if that one's a K and you ranked it a 2, you would have 17. Your K would have 17.
So we're just looking at what we ranked as number 1, the first one.
You're looking at adding up every K, the points of every K. So
Okay.
if you've gave K 2 points in that one and K 3 points in the other one, then you get that, you've got 5 total, and you're going to keep on working your way through till you get how many points total you picked for the Ks.
So if we picked at number 1, it's 4 points. Number 2, it's 3 points.
If you put a number 1 for the K one, it's 1 point.
Oh, 1 point. So 1, 2, 3, 4, based on where we ranked it. Got it. Okay.
Right.
Cool.
Now I can do it. Okay.
All right, cool beans.
Thank you, Gina. I'm not where I'm supposed to be, but thank you.
You're so welcome. Let me get
I'm still having trouble with this. Walk through the point values of, okay, so I see K is number 2 if I put it number 2.
yes.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, Laura, you're an interesting girl. Just so you know, Laura, your scores, your A is 14, your K is 14, and your V and your Tom are both 11s. Just so you have them.
That's very interesting. Okay, I'm gonna write this in my notes in my phone. Hold on.
And then as soon as everybody's there, then we're going to talk about it. So y'all let me know when you're there with your scores.
Okay. A's 14, B's 14, K and
A and K are 14.
okay.
V for Victor and T, you rhyme. V and T are 11.
Got it.
And then just heads up when you're done. Liz's head is already done. So Liz is already done.
I'm still adding.
The joke, Liz has her professional picture up.
I'm
Here
here
Liz head is at.
and I'm done. And this was eye-opening. If I think it's going to tell me what I think it's going to tell me.
While they're doing that, ignore me all, because I found out something kind of cool and I never realized this. Do you know that people do tally marks different in different countries? You know,
No.
tally marks like, you know, one,
Yeah.
two, three, four. Okay. In Europe, in some of the countries, they go, hang on, they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
Me either. I thought tally marks were, there's just stupid things that you grew up
I
with.
do the 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that I can group them.
Yeah.
Mine
Well,
do
it should
too.
look like that. It should look like that. Yes, but they do this. They do a
Oh,
square. They do a square and then a line through it. I was like,
Oh,
that's really interesting. I had no idea.
It's like hangman.
Exactly. Lovely gallows humor there, Kathy.
No body on them.
Sorry.
No, it's funny. I love gallows.
this is
humor.
how I had to do the little exercise.
There you go. Perfect.
Let me see it, because I'm still, I wrote mine out. I must be so visual. I can't figure out how to put the numbers by the thing.
So at first I put them in order. 4,
Yeah,
3, 2, 1. And then over here, I put them in Gina's order.
A
and then put
equals
the
a
letters.
1. A
All right.
equals a 3. Hold that up one more time. Hold up. Okay.
It was
B-
complicated when they did this in class. They made everybody just do one step at a time, not get ahead. Only I did not do that. I went way ahead. And I was looking at this. This is exactly what it looks like. I'll show you guys exactly what it looks like. And then we'll start to, we're running, hang on. We're running
Oh,
late.
we're running out of time.
Hang on, but I want to double check and make sure I'm cool. Because if I'm cool, we're going to stay with this. We're going to stay with this as long as you guys can
Yes,
stay.
please.
Absolutely. Okay. They literally, it looks like this, and then you go down to this little box thing, and this is how you put it in.
Yeah, this is how I put it finally.
Yeah. Let me stop sharing screen and I'll get you guys all that. Okay, so here's how this works.
Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah.
Have you ever been, okay, I'm gonna just use me as an example. If I'm being sold by somebody and they tell me, if I could show you a way, would you be interested in doing this? I want to kill them dead. And I'm not joking. I am so, there's just something in me that is basically offended for some stupid reason. I have no idea why, but it just makes me crazy. I always said that I was a kinesthetic person. I'm like, I need to get in front of it and touch it. And if I get in front of it and touch it, then I can wrap my brain around it. This test showed me my lowest score is kinesthetic. I got a 6. My highest is the thinking one. I process by processing. I mean, just the very fact of the word that I said process. Now, here's why this is important. You can tell how a person thinks or how a person learns is the word I really want by the words that they're using. I see that. I can visualize that. I can picture that. What type of a learner would that person be?
Visual.
Visual learner. The sounds good. I hear you. Tell me more about that. It's clear as a bell. Loud and clear. I get that. What is that person?
Listening.
It's auditory. Exactly. It's auditory. Yep. That feels good. I totally get it. I can get a handle on that. That's concrete.
That's the kinetics.
That's the kinesthetic. Exactly. That's the
Whatever.
each one. And then the other one, that's the thinker one. That makes sense. That's reasonable. I see that system. I get the process. I get how that works. That's the thinker one.
Yeah.
So when you have these people, if you close me on a visual, if I could show you a way, this doesn't work for me. I'm a thinker. If you close me this way, can you see the process? Can you see how the system would make sense in your business? Yeah. But if you close me with, if I can show you a way, I am not feeling, I don't feel it. You're out of rapport with me. You've lost me. Hi, Laura, darling. We'll send you the recording. Fairly clean. There is a stack. There's Liz coming in again. Okay. All right. I can't hear, or somebody, I can hear something in the background, but we'll let it go. Okay. So does this make sense on how other people learn? And I can hear somebody. Who is it in there that
So
I can?
that's me. Sorry.
Okay, cool beans. All right. Does this make sense, or can you guys see it, or can you get a handle on it, or can you hear what it is that I'm saying of why it's important to be able to match our learning modalities with our clients?
Yes, I am still,
So processing?
I'm still processing. So I just need a data dump here for a moment, if I may. And you
Yes,
can tell me what's
absolutely.
going on here. So I had 12 A's, 14 B's, 8 K's, and 7 T's, which was surprising to me because if T is the thinker, that's how I would categorize myself most of the time. I would categorize myself as a T or a B.
So wait, what is K again?
The
Kinesthetic,
thinker. Oh, sorry.
K is what?
kinesthetic touch. K is kinesthetic touch. So
And
you,
A is what?
A is auditory. Yep.
B
V visual.
and T thinker.
Be the thinker. So Liz, so let me ask you this. You would have thought you were a thinker or a visual when you learned, if I'm going to teach you something new on the computer, do I tell you how it works? Do I show you how it works? Do
Show
I
me.
put you in front of the computer and let you actually do it?
You'd have to show me. I need to see it first. Like I need visual. I am very much a visual thinker, even when visual learner. And even when I am unpacking words and trying to like digest information in my space, I mind map it. Like I put everything in pictures if I can. First and foremost, I need to see it, which is why I was surprised my A's were 2, because listening to it is usually, down the line thing, but I need to see it and do it is the best way for me to learn.
And when you're seeing it, are you processing it through into how I'm going to actually be doing this?
Yeah. I can think about it and unpack it as I see it.
Okay.
And digest it into practical application. It's almost like my visual and thinker are the same level, although my thinker came out really low as a 7, which was surprising to me. But if I can see it, I'm thinking about it at the same time and then apply it like within the same space or short space in there, that's when I'm like, boom. So which is why I'm surprised my A was a 12.
Which is the one that really gets you? Is it when you see it or when you apply it?
I can customarily see something and get a quick grasp in terms of whether I understand it and whether I'll be able to apply it or not, or understand it or not.
I'm sorry, I was reading Kathy's thing, which was very rude of me. Please answer me again, or please answer.
When I see something, I can generally assess whether I get it or not very quickly to apply myself, or if I will need more assistance in the application, meaning somebody needs to now walk me through this because I'm missing something. Kind of like what I did here. When you moved to the scoring part, I was like, now I'm confused. Like, what is happening?
Did you hear her just say, walk me through this? Did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
So I need to apply it. And then if I don't get it, somebody needs to walk me through this. Those are kinesthetic.
Okay.
I play with it for a while because I completely disagree with mine also when it first came. I'm like, I'm a kinesthetic learner. No, I'm not. And it blew me away. It blew me away. So play with it, listen and pay attention to the words that you use as you're talking also, and what it is that you're like I thought I was a visual, but it goes in my head so that I can sit here and systemize it, because that's what I do. I'm looking for, where does this line up with anything else? How does this fit into my systems? Where's this system going to fit in? How would I build out that system? It's all systems and processes and stuff in my head, but I totally thought as a visual. I really did. And I would have thought that I was kinesthetic for kinesthetic visual to get a grasp and feel, but if you ask me what I feel versus what I think, I will sit here for 5 minutes going, oh, you know, although I am particular about the way clothing feels on my skin. I'm very particular about that. I'm also like, I love the aesthetics of how a room looks. That's really important to me, but it's not my learning modality. And it doesn't mean that that's not what it is. It's just thinking's higher. That's all it is. You can be high on all of them. You'll have one preference that's a little bit higher. It doesn't mean that just because, you know, one's super low doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It still can exist on a very high level, just the others will be higher. Kathy, you asked me about DISC. DISC is behavior. It
Okay.
is different than learning modalities. So there's DISC, there's learning modalities. You can be a strong D, for instance, and have a very high, I learn by auditory. It doesn't, it's just D is your behavior, your outward behavior. It's not what it's not your values or your motives. Those are different things. Like someone might be value or by a sense of justice. Again, that doesn't have anything to do with DISC. DISC is just your behaviors. So, all right, now here's how you can tell. Here's 2 ways to tell. One, listen to the words that people are saying. That's going to give you a clue. The second thing is look at where people are looking. People will look, visual thinkers, when they're thinking and they're processing, will look up. Eyes are on your head, eyes are up. So if you see somebody looking up to one side or the other, they're thinking, they're visualizing it in their head. Auditory learners will look to the side, your ears are to the side. So somebody's over here, they're kind of playing it in their ears. Okay, hang on, what did they say? What did they say? Well, okay, hang on, I got it now. And letting it reverb. If someone looks down here, your hands, kinesthetic, are lower. So if they're looking down, when you're facing them, if they're looking down to your left, they're feeling. They're looking down to your right, they're the thinker. It's flipped if someone's left-handed. And it's not complete, it's just a really good tell. So again, you can tell if you've got somebody that's constantly looking up as you're talking to them, they're trying to visualize it, use visual words. Somebody's always looking over to the side, they're listening and they're trying to grasp it. Use your words, use very auditory. Is this clears a bell yet? Is it ringing any bells for you? If they're down to this side as I'm looking at them, so when I look at them, my left, sorry, I have a rough time with lefts and rights as it is, my left, if they're looking down there, they're how does this feel? Does this feel like something good? Says, you know, you ready to you got a handle on it? I need to explain a little bit better for you to get another handle. Would you like to write it down? You know, anything that has to do with touching. And over here, how's that think? How are you thinking about that? What do you think about that? You thinking this is the next right step for you? Is this like and step would actually be kinesthetic. Is this, you know, is this a system you like? Is this a process you like? Does this fit into the grand scale of, you know, your entire business system thing? So there you go. Visual, auditory, kinesthetic, and thinkers.
It's funny because I always thought that I was more of a visual learner.
Me too.
Myself than kinesthetic, but
Yeah.
my visual score is 10 and my kinesthetic score is 12.
Wow.
So it's like, so maybe something about could it be that I may have changed? Like the way I have been exposed to the new profession and stuff like that, I'd be more. That's
a really good question. I don't know if I don't know. That's such a good question. I think when we're in school, we're really forced to be auditory and visual in school. You're forced. And college, very auditory in college. And so you're forced to learn that way. For me, that's really, I'm going back to my list because I think that's really hard. And my auditory was a 12, so mid-level. So I'm thinker, visual, auditory, the same, and then kinesthetic, the lowest one. And I'm like a thinker off the chart. I'm like 20 for my thinker one. I was like 4 all the way down for every single answer on that. So perhaps
I got for kinesthetic 12, auditory 11, visual 10, and thinking 17.
Yeah, yeah, you went real high on it too. Yeah.
That's
It's
wild.
interesting. So PF, if hang on, what was my cheat sheet that I wrote down here for that? Because I like my cheat sheet. You got to sit tight with me for 1 second. If I can help you understand the benefit and if it makes sense, you want to get the process started?
Yeah, because it's curious that 3 scores are very close.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. So understand and make sense and process. Those are all thinking type of closes.
My thinking was 20,
See, you
Wow.
got me.
but my audio was 15,
Oh, you're right behind with that. That's interesting.
and my kinesthetic was 7, and my visual was 8.
So you're right there with those two. Both of them rank pretty dang low.
Yes,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
which I'm surprised that the, kinesthetic, but
I was shocked too. This blew me away because I thought I knew me and turns out I did not. But it does make sense why people now, it makes sense. There we go. Why it always bugs me when salespeople, I've actually told car sales people, I'm like, if you use that close on me again, I will walk out of here. Like, get some better skills. And my husband's just like, oh God, because I'm really bad with car salespeople. If you're great, got no problem. If you're bad, I will walk off your load. I bought my car. I lived in LA. I drove to Phoenix. That's like 6 hours to get there. I drove to Phoenix because I did not like any of the salespeople in LA. And I went to everywhere that had my car in LA. There were 3 car salespeople, 3 different cities that had my car. And I was like, screw y'all. And I drove to Phoenix.
Okay, so that gets me a little curious, and maybe this is an off-topic thing that we can discuss another time, but I too had the same visceral response when you get that close that you say that you, and I'm just kind of like, okay, I already stopped listening. Like, I'm not listening to
Yeah,
you.
let's start.
So, this is curious for me because I was on a call yesterday, and not only was that close used in the call, but they also started dissecting my language and like, oh yeah, I have to get used to these words, unpacking. I use the word unpack a lot because I digest a lot of language in my work all day. And so I literally have to unpack it and mind map it out to see what is actually being said among all the other verbiage in there. So I use that term a lot. I use, and I felt like I got defensive for some reason during this conversation, and I couldn't understand. So as I'm trying to unpack the call and the conversation, it was around a product, and I'm thinking, do I really want this product? Like, do I want to tolerate this behavior, or am I cutting myself off short just because I didn't like the salesperson, or I didn't like the person giving me the information? And I've been grappling with that all night. It's like, why did I have such a visceral response to the language of the words being used in the conversation, even to the extent of dissecting the terms I was using in the communication, and maybe you feel more defensive. Like, I don't want to deal with you. And I still haven't made a decision one way or the other. I have to make that decision today. But that's one of the things I've been unpacking. I'm like, do I want to stay in this opportunity or not? Because I wasn't jiving with the communicator on the other side, but I don't feel like the opportunity is a bad one.
Okay, I would like you to listen to, okay, how long do you think Liz just talked? 1 minute or 2 minutes, maybe? No, 2 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes. In those 2 minutes, my darling dear, you said dissecting, feel, defensive, unpack twice, tolerate behavior, grapple, and visceral.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You said 8 kinesthetic terms in 2 minutes.
And so what does
Wow.
That's how you communicate. That's your communication. Your communication is very, very, very kinesthetic. Very kinesthetic. That
Where was that on your list?
I couldn't have done that if I had planned it and paid you $20.
See, in
That
this,
is so
I came up
awesome.
with a 8. It was 8 on my overall list.
You're kinesthetic?
Yeah. Like my highest was V at 14.
Yes.
And A's was the next highest at 12. Kinesthetic was 8 and T's were 7.
Wow.
So
So
I'm
that means you
conflicted.
learn
I'm
in
conflicted.
one way and communicate in another.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would really watch, there's 4 stages of learning, and the first one is unconscious incompetence. We don't know, we don't know, we don't do it because we don't know. The second one is conscious incompetence. That's we're aware of the fact that we're screwing up. That's when I say I'm not going to say price reduction anymore. I'm going to say price adjustment. I'm not even aware of the fact that I say price reduction. I learn about it. And then I still halfway out of my mouth say price adjustment. That's conscious incompetence. And then there's conscious competence. All right, Gina, don't forget, it's a price adjustment. Hey, Mr. Seller, it's time for us to do a price adjustment, but I'm consciously processing it. And there's unconscious competence. I don't even think about it. Mr. Seller, it's time for us to sit down and talk about a price adjustment. Okay, so we all start with everything we learn with being completely unaware of the fact that we do what we do, like the flip and tally marks. Didn't even know, had no idea. Wow, that's a cool thing. So I would encourage you, Liz, to just pay attention and watch and weigh it out. Oh God, there I go. And see how it feels. And picture yourself doing it. Can I hit another one? To see kind of where you land and then aware of how other people are. So you can adjust, as you're talking to other people also. So that's what I would do. I just pay attention for a while. Like really, because that's what this has done. This has got me consciously incompetent. That's where it's gotten me.
So let's use the example quickly of when you bought your car. You drove 6 hours
Yeah.
to buy the car.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it wasn't a question of whether or not you were going to get the car.
Oh no, I was getting the car. Oh no, I knew I was getting the
The
car.
question of, because that's between the coaching you did with Laura yesterday morning and this activity here, I'm like in this space of like still evaluating this opportunity. And I'm like, okay, but Gina still went and got the car just because she didn't like the salesperson and the language being used didn't deter her from going after the opportunity of the acquisition of the car, which was the end goal. And so that's why I think I'm in this, after again seeing you coach Laura yesterday morning, I'm in this state of like, is this who I am and where I want to be in this space with this product offering? And am I running away from it because of the language that was used to me when we were discussing it yesterday, or because I really don't want or need it at this time?
Set up a coaching call with me. We'll
I
go
will.
through. Okay. We'll totally just go through it.
And mine were all, was real high in the auditory was 15, visual was 14, thinking was 12, and then kinesthetic was 9.
So you're really tight range also, like Laura was a pretty tight range, 2 14s, 2 11s. Yours is really tight in there also, unlike Bree and I, who are like 20 on one, and what's your lowest score you had, Bree?
7.
Yeah, I had a 6 for my lowest score. So we're right there. We had this big, huge range of.
Yeah, so K and B were right at the bottom, and T was 20 and A was 15. So
Yeah. So you're much more balanced in how you think and how you can be. Probably, I would assume, and I don't know if this is right or not, but I would bet you dollars to donuts that it's going to be easier for you to adjust one way or the other as you're talking with people. That's what I would assume.
me or K?
Okay. I would think.
Yeah, because her range is.
Yeah, because she's really comfortable in all 4 of them, and they're nice tight together. I would think that you'd be able to adjust easily. I think you'd. I don't know about the recognizing. That would be up to if you're self-aware or not. And I strongly believe you are. But I would think you could shift really quickly.
So that's what having the close range with one another indicates to you?
To me, this is just me throwing a pure supposition out there. It would lead me to believe that you'd be very comfortable pivoting one way or the other, because it would be like if your love languages were all fairly similar, If you were equally adept at words of affirmation, gifts, physical touch, hang on, I can remember this. Gifts, words of affirmation, physical touch, eye-to-eye conversations, and gifts of service. Man, that was hard for me to dredge that one out. That's like 25 years old training. It would lead me to believe that if you're very comfortable in all those different love languages, then you could flip back and forth between them easily, even if you might generally prefer one over the other, which Kate clearly prefers one over the other as a little bit stronger. So there you go. Oh man, that was
So
hard.
was there a book with this, Gina, or is it all that they referenced? I know from your success training, but I meant.
I just Googled learning modalities. And it's a shortcut to what Gina has, but I'll put it in the chat.
Cool beans.
Because I'm so curious about more about me.
Oh, you're so egocentric. I love it.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, hang on. I got it opened up on my other screen. That's cool.
Actually, it is good because isn't one of the Socrates expressions to know thyself?
Right.
Oh, yeah, it is. And to thy own self be true. The second part of it, which we don't say that very often, but I love that part. We should
What
be
is the
and to thy own self be true.
And to thy own self. Oh, I love that.
Isn't
I
that
need to
good?
write that down.
To thy own self be true, because we need to be true. And so Google me and make sure, because I butcher. I know the quote is correct. I just want to make sure that we're attributing it to Socrates, because that's the part I butcher.
Right.
I'm like, I don't know. Somebody really cool said it and I heard it, and here you go. And the way that this works is the first time you hear something from somebody else, you have to credit that person. The second time you hear it, say, I don't know, I heard it somewhere. The third time, it's yours. It's yours. You just run with it. All right. Well,
I wanted to share with, when people hear things, what they comprehend. So
mhm.
my little sister, when she first learned about Martin Luther King, my mother was excited. So my mother asked her after school, what did you learn? Because she knew the teacher was giving this whole spiel about it. And my sister goes, he died.
Oh my God. Ah, that's hilarious. Yes, true statement, darling.
Right. She was like, Martin Luther King, he died. So there you go. I guess the teacher didn't get her modality.
It's perfect. Well, she got one fact, and she's right too. She is not wrong at all.
Nope.
Nope.
Missed the in between, but that's okay.
Yeah. They say if you're going to tell a story, you have to start strong and end strong.
She did.
She did.
But it's like that commercial that shows what happens when you miss the middle, and the guy's throwing the tennis racket and there's a hole in the middle of it.
Right.
Are getting
There's a hole in the tennis racket
and
when
there's
you
a
miss the
hole in the
middle.
umbrella and they got a thing on their thing. That's cute.
There we go. All right, y'all. This was really fun. Thank you for helping me learn more. Because if y'all really want to learn something and you really want to get it in your head, they say to repeat it a couple times, and that's good. But really, if you want to get something in your brain, immediately turn around and tell somebody as fast as possible and teach somebody as fast as possible. The quicker you can take in a new piece of knowledge and then turn around and teach somebody, like I have definitely called up my husband on the way home from a really cool class and gone, yeah, sorry, you must listen to me now. I have to teach you this, because that will lodge it into your brain. So teach somebody else this, because it will lodge it into your brain. And then you'll be able to, you'll move from unconscious incompetence through the learning path. So awesome. I love seeing your shiny, beautiful faces every morning. I really do. It just starts my day off in this huge burst of energy. It is my favorite part of the day. I am not exaggerating. And selfishly, I'm a morning person, so I get to start it this way. So thank you guys.
Very cool. Thank you, Gina.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Yep.
Y'all are so welcome. Have fabulous weekends.
Thanks,
Okay.
Gina.
Wow.
Thanks,
Bye.
everybody.
Awesome, darlings.
Bye.